Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live for the PenPower European V8 Supercar Championship from Road Atlanta in the United States. I'm Andrew Woodhouse, and I'm joined by my usual broadcast partner, Sam Kumo. And Sam, well, Road Atlanta, it's quite a tough circuit. We've been here a lot on Apex Racing TV over the past few months, and I'm sure we'll see some interesting racing tonight.
Hello everybody, good to be here. It was a fun race a couple of weeks back now, so I'm enjoying it. I love Road Atlanta, so great circuit. So looking forward to seeing what the V8s can do around here. Huge long back straight, leads into an awesome overtaking position. Lots of side-by-side battles through there, all the way down into turn one. We're going to have that blind, tricky right-hander as well that always separates the men from the mice. So this should be a really good race.
Yeah, and I know we said it off air, but happy birthday for yesterday, mate. Another year wiser, of course.
Yeah, thanks for that. We won't say how old we are.
No, I'll refrain from that one this time.
One too many grey hairs. Talking about it just makes them more sprout out.
Dom and Gantar leads the championship. There'll be few grey hairs going on for him, I presume, as a result of the driving this season, because he's leading the way by 129 points over Michael Taliancic. And currently Gantar in qualifying, Sam, is in 5th position with Taliancic just in front of him by only 3 thousandths. Well, I think what happened, Sam, is that Klosterman missed 2 weeks. Kaczarzik missed a week as well. So they may have been around that area that Taliancic is, but very quick driver. And Alex, we saw last time, didn't we, how fast he was?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great race.
He had that issue, didn't he, at the start, and then he had to come through.
Yeah, Monza, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah, it was a good race meeting, that one as well. And it's very interesting to watch the likes of Klosterman coming through from the back after his error with the slowdown penalty, and then the subsequent having to actually serve a penalty as well. It's quite rare, but it was a good race all round, and I'm interested to see how this one goes. Of course, the last race didn't have the reverse grid wheel or anything like that in there, so I'm intrigued to see how that plays out. Of course, we do a fair few races with reverse grid wheels, so should be interesting. It always spices it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, good to see actually. A couple of familiar names out there. We've got John Roberts out there, BSRTC AM champion 2015, King of the Ring and all that, and our old colleague Brenton O'Brien, Alex, as well.
Yeah, good to see Brenton on the grid. I did spot him actually in the driver's lineup there. So
I don't know if he's going to do anything. He's not set a lap in qualifying, it doesn't look like yet. But
well, when I joined just 15 minutes ago or so, he was doing some running in practice. He was actually out on track. So yeah, I hope he does. He was in the session just a short while ago. So
nice to see Brenton out there. Used to work with him on V8 series as well. And so yeah, very good.
Also need to apologize. There was maybe a few audios missing, including my voice. So sorry about that. A little bit rusty here. Haven't done this in a few weeks.
It's all right. So basically, there was nothing, was there, for a little bit at the beginning?
Yes, right. I was talking to myself here.
And then Alex just said hello. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. Again, technical issues. We always have, like maybe one or something.
I think that was user error more like.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to say it, but it it happens. It happens to the best of us. I can't talk. I'm the only one in the commentary box who's never done this, so I cannot fathom how hard it is. I did a race. I commentated a race while Alex was doing the cameras at his house, and yeah, I couldn't believe the amount of screens you've got there.
Yeah, it can. I probably go a bit over the top because obviously I run the stream on a separate PC, unlike Sam where it is all on one. So yeah, I've got my triple screen set up and a 4th screen for the other one as well. So yeah, it makes for a very interesting amount of work that goes on. I think I've got 3 separate versions of the stream going on at sort of one time. So the YouTube video to check that, the actual capture footage, and then iRacing itself. So quite
a lot of information to take in there, and so we take in the starting grid then for this round, which is oh dear, which round is it? It's round 6 of the season.
Yes, it's round 6 and 7.
Victor Tanaka then on pole position by just 2/1000ths of a second over Stephen Latimore. Craig Jones in 3rd, Michael Taliancic 4th. Domin Gantar, like we said, leads the championship, and he is 5th on the grid. And Tony Kloosterman, last season's champion, in 6th. Dave Janssen 7th with Jean-Philippe Bousselan in 8th. Chris Jackson 9th and Klaus Winter in 10th. Stephen Baxter in 11th. That's a good time from Baxter. Kim Holter 12th. Anthony Woodward 13th. Peter Bingham 14th. Samuel Buzen in 15th. Victor Morjon 16th. 17th for Richard Dempsey. 18th Richard Brightwell. John Roberts in 19th. 20th Gary Croft. Robert Lundgren 21st. Wojciech Kruk in 22nd, Clyde Whiting in 23rd, Johan Venter in 24th, Adam McNally 25th, and then 4 driving 7th at a time. I'm not sure whether they're going to be starting the race, as we mentioned. John Manley, Andres Perez, Brenton O'Brien, and Stephen Phillips. So yeah. Sorry, Alex.
I was going to say, hopefully we do see some of them on the grid, even if it is at the back, because that'll be a pretty decent turnout there. 29 cars.
29. I mean, 25 is pretty good, isn't it? Anyway, but yeah, 29 would be pretty good. A few drivers have made their way down onto the grid, including Craig Jones, currently the highest placed driver, who's taking his place out there at P3. And well, Sam Tanaka on pole position. Obviously one of the favourites for the win here, but no pole positions this season for him. However, he has finished in the top 5 4 times.
No, he has been consistently fast and very good at overtaking, so this time around he needs to be on the defense, and we'll have to see how he deals with that this time around. There is opportunities for overtaking as we are about to ready to go here.
Yeah, definitely some good opportunities on the circuit, and we'll see how that unfolds today. In terms of the format, 20-lap race here, first round, and then we have a feature race as well later, which will be, I believe, it's double the length, so we will see. Okay then. Just about ready for the start here, and in a minute we'll be treated to the sound of over 25 V8 engines revving into life. The drivers are ready. The green light is on. Good start off of pole by Tanaka. Poor start by Latimore. It's already been passed by Jones, and maybe even swallowed up by...
Also, there's a car around in the background. I didn't see who it was.
It's McNally.
Yes.
Adam McNally then, and that was contact with... Oh, and something had happened, Alex, to look like Gary Croft, and that's what did for McNally.
Yeah, it can be easy to do here. Obviously, there's nowhere to run off down that straight, so if someone just goes a little bit wide, they tend to ricochet back on. But only a couple of cars involved, so it's not a huge run. We have had a few people not start, unfortunately. So yeah, 4 not running of the 29. So 25 out there and 2 already stationary at the minute. But great start from Tanaka. Already 1.1 second clear at the front from Craig Jones, who himself is 1.6 clear of Michael.
Yeah, and Latimore as well. So Sam Latimore coming under a lot of pressure after a poor start, even from the front row. It can definitely hurt you. Although he gets past
that was Latimore just passing Michael there, and Michael is now under pressure from Domin Gantar and Kloosterman. Kloosterman peeking in the inside, but decides to stay back for here. But Kantar, he's very close, takes the inside line. Still
Probably the
thinks
best.
about it.
Probably the best we've seen from Dave Janssen for a while as well. He's up in 7th place. Very close between Klosterman and Gantar, you can see, for 5th place. And they're closing in on Taliancic as well. But now Latimore's got through. Alex is using some of that qualifying pace, and he's broken away. He's chasing after Craig Jones.
Yeah, he got I mean, I can't believe how quickly he's pulled out. Sort of 1.3 seconds as well. So looks like he will be able to close down on Jones. So just seems like Taliancic there. He's just struggling a little bit with race pace, and just actually gets collected from behind. There's a whole gaggle really behind him now. So that was Ganter just tagged him a little bit. He himself is coming under pressure from Klosterman, and yeah, it's going to be interesting going down into the chicane.
As always here at Road Atlanta, the main overtaking place, the main source of the controversy, usually. And Klosterman sideways, and how has he hung on to that in front of Gantar? And Gantar did really well to avoid him. Difficult corner that, and now you can see it's that Baxter. That's Baxter getting up past both Janssen and Bousselin on that lap, Sam. So very good progress from Stephen Baxter, and there is a slowdown, it appears, for Jackson.
Yes, I wonder where Jackson got that slowdown. I didn't catch it on the cameras, but that is really going to hurt him.
Look at that. How much time he lost there.
You know what it's like though when you get slowed down when you haven't actually done an optimal lap or sector through there. It really does hurt you, and it's, what is normally a sort of an 0.8 of a second slowdown ends up being like a 3 or a 4, and then of course you'll get back up to speed, and everybody's
the place is lost.
Yeah, flowing past you. It's the track position that's the worst.
Yeah, and speaking of track position, it's towards Victor Tanaka's benefit at the moment, but Craig Jones is closing in. Sammy's got that to 1 second now.
Yeah, they're running just about the same pace. That is still within the closing distance here for Craig Jones. Still Lattimore isn't quite able to keep up, and Steve Lattimore is fitting in this time by. So is there a problem with his car? Because I don't think there is really no damage on his car as far as I can tell.
It's a bit of a strange one. No pit stop needed here in this race 1. It's only a 20-lap race. It's a sprint. It's supposed to be a no-stop race, so...
Could it be that he might have just had the qualify setup without enough fuel for the race?
Oh, maybe. That'd explain the start, though. That wouldn't explain the start, would it? Because it was a really bad start, so... But you're right there. Fuel going in, it looks like, and potentially a miscalculation there, but a costly one. As Lattimore drops down to what is...
and he spins
he's
around.
Actually last at the minute. Oh, he's gone.
He's lost control.
Oh,
he's just able to save it, yes, and down to 20 seconds right now.
Yeah, and
because
he's
that's
got
White in passing him.
Bingham has gone through as well, and Lundgren. McNally was facing the wrong way. Alex is up ahead of Lattimore now.
Yeah, when it doesn't go your way, it doesn't go your way, does it? So
Not at the start of the race, anyway. In lap 3, we don't really know what happened to him, but yeah, very odd.
Klosterman and Baxter are very close at the minute, guys. I was just seeing that. It looked like Baxter got a good run out of the chicane and separated apart.
There must have been a mistake for Klosterman, Alex, because he was in 4th place at the start of the lap. Just behind, he just got ahead of Gantar, I think.
Yeah, I didn't see where that was.
Yeah, slow lap for both Gantar and Klosterman, so maybe they had some coming together there.
Let's see what it was. They were quite a way clear of this battle at one bit, but let's look at Klosterman. Oh, he must have had a slowdown. He got a slowdown on the previous lap. I wonder if he cut the chicane, Klosterman. And then maybe Gantar might have got one further round the lap. That probably makes sense. Baxter nearly loses it, and Klosterman's going to go through here easily. Baxter all kinds of sideways coming out of that double apex right-hander and onto the straight. That's the last place you want to lose all that momentum. And look, Tony Klusterman then, series champion, through into what is now 5th place.
Nothing he could do there really, just didn't fight it, moved over and just made sure he got back in the draft so that Jean-Philippe couldn't get a run on him, so Roussillon just catching up with them, but yeah, didn't make him too vulnerable, so probably a bit sensible driving from Baxter there.
He just lost the rear, didn't he, which is so easy to do in this car.
Wow, yeah, crazy easy.
That's why we don't drive it, isn't it? It's Woodward versus Winter. Oh, Woodward makes a mistake. He has to cut the course. That'll be a big slowdown, Sam, and the loss of a few positions.
Yeah, but fortunately it's on this downhill section, so you can still defend even if you slow down. But I don't think he needs to. Victor Morson is behind him, and there is just enough gap for him.
Richard Dempsey is absolutely all over the place as well. In 12th, he's under pressure from Chris Jackson, but Dempsey was all kinds of crossed up and out of shape down the hill, and he's chasing after Morojon.
Yeah, Dempsey runs wide and they make contact.
And that's broken the suspension, has it, on Jackson's car? He's crabbing, is he?
Looks alright to me.
Looks fine, yeah. I think we'll find out here in this chicane.
Oh, he's definitely crabbing, I think. Just a little bit, maybe. Doesn't look great. May have got away with it.
Yeah, it looked like fairly minor incident there. Small contact, so I wouldn't expect it to cause major damage.
I'm gonna go on board and see if he's able to bring any change to the steering angle on the straight parts. It's okay down the S's, but of course it will do. Up through this left-hander.
Oh, and problems for Gary Croft. He is in the walls. Just taking a look at the replay, what happened there. Comes out of turn 1, runs wide. Oh, and makes contact. Who was that? It was... couldn't quite see the yellow car.
Oh no.
Yes, it was Venter. They made contact there. It doesn't seem like Venter's car has sustained any major damage there, but it definitely cost Gary Croft quite a lot of time.
So Brightwell, Lundgren, and Bingham, are they all actually a lap down, or is that a scoring error?
Yeah, no,
yes,
they're all a lap down. I've just spotted a good battle that's gone out there as well. Victor Moyon there in 10th. Just gone past Anthony Woodward in 11th place. So those guys having a little battle right now.
Oh. And here also comes Chris Jackson passing Anthony Woodward.
Look at Gantar as well, Sam. Right on Michael now. And here comes Klusterman.
Yeah, that was within the touching distance for Gantar and Aliancic. And Klusterman on the outside, not the preferred line here. Is he able to hang on? Not quite. Going for the cutback.
Oh! Good driving there to stay away from any contact. Good stuff there, Alex, through that tight section.
Yeah, not easy through there, and you need to have need to come out of there well, so you get a good run down the straight, of course. Something wrong for Woodward. I'm seeing him stationary on the circuit right now, just spinning around, recovering. Down in 16th place now. So some sort of issue coming out of the second of the 90 degrees rights before the back straight.
It's just lit up the rears. Lit up the rears on the curb on the outside, and yeah, struggled there, afraid. Couldn't keep that in a straight line. Anthony Woodward. We have a frenetic sprint race this. Tanaka leads by 1.6 seconds. He's pulled that advantage out to Jones. by on that previous lap. He was actually 1/10 of a second slower, but these guys are 7 seconds clear of Taliancic, and it's unbelievable, Alex, when you look at the qualifying times. There was only 1/10 difference to translate to 7 seconds in just 8 laps.
Yeah, I mean, they were lapping the best part of a second lap faster at the moment as well. So, yeah, I'm not sure what Michael's problem is with the race stint and the race pace, but he certainly hasn't got the car underneath him that he wants. Really struggling in the 23s, and they're doing 21, so well over a second. Sorry.
Ganter and Klosterman aren't exactly flying along either, but they are battling at the minute. Looked like he had to think about that Sam into the chicane, did Klosterman, but decides not to bother. There's no real point for Ganter actually, if there is a battle, to really get involved in anything, because he has the championship lead. He's got a good lead at the minute. Klosterman has missed a few races, so he's quite a way behind at this point. So if he has a go, you'd think he'll just let him have it.
Yes, out of these two, I think Klosterman is the one who needs to start taking more risks, whereas Ganter just play it safe. Oh, and very close here between the three of them.
Yeah, that was Michael Slow turn 1, and Taliancic kind of forced Ganter back into Klosterman.
But yeah, I don't think they will be taking massive risks here. Possibly just looking for the safe move. And I see smoke behind them.
Oh, here comes
Steve Baxter.
Klosterman through. Sorry, yeah, Baxter then. Oh, he looks like he's crashed.
Yeah, just gone back to the pits, I think.
On the exit of... Oh, it's that corner again, isn't it? Exit of the S's section. Got on the curb and rode it sort of too hard on that curb, and ends up getting spat out to the left-hand side.
How many people have we seen do that over the years in all sorts of different cars? It doesn't matter. I mean, the V8's pretty, friendly over bumps and curves, but that one there just seems to affect every single car, no matter what the type of suspension or anything. Ground clearance, they're all the same.
Yeah. Not an easy one, that. Saw Martin Van Loosenhout doing the same thing, didn't we, last year in one of his Renault races, and he's one of the best in the world, so happens to every single driver, it seems. Yeah, 10 seconds now is a gap. 22.4 for Taliancic, which was a slightly better lap. Still 6/10 off of what Victor Tanaka was doing at the front, and that lead is now 2.5. So Sam, it really looks like Tanaka's turning the screw a little bit now.
Yes, looking at the lap times that they've been running. Oh, problem for Greg Jones. Gets loose out of the corner onto the main straight, but is able to continue. So that will cost him time. Yeah, now he's 7 seconds behind Tanaka.
He didn't quite get the wall, did he? So no harm done.
No, he was testing just leaving the car to see that if there is no issue with the suspension.
And at the risk, Alex,
it gave him that scare. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not the thing you want in second place. And Alex, at the risk of stating the bleeding obvious, that's why you build up an 8-second lead, isn't it? So things like that don't lose you any places.
Yeah, exactly. He had that little buffer, didn't he? So hopefully he can pull away again. Klosterman obviously trying to get into third, and then maybe can push forward a little bit. But only 9 laps to go. I think he's still a relatively good position. Just mustn't make sure that does the same thing. We know what can happen. When you light the tyres up, you just cause that extra heat. You lose the grip. It's very easy to do again. It just sort of compounds the problem. It gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And before you know it, he's going to be at the front of this 4-car train.
Yep. I'll tell you someone who's having a good run actually is John Roberts. He's up to 13th. Started 19th on the grid, and he got a bit of company from Samuel Bouzen, but it looks like Roberts has got through quite recently. He's off after Richard Dempsey, who's also having a decent run, 5 positions gained. Victor Morajon, Sam, 7 places gained for him, and one of his better races of the season.
Yeah, I think this is one of the races where you can make up the positions just by keeping it clean. And I don't think we've seen him make any flash moves or anything like that, just driving this race, focusing on the line and keeping it on the track.
Oh, look at the battle for third now. Look at it. It's Taljancic, it's Klosterman, it's Gantar. And this time it was Klosterman trying to get past Michael, and Gantar decided that he was going to try and get involved in the action.
Yeah, looks like their gloves are coming off this time around. They were just sizing each other up for a few laps, and now it's a battle time.
I'm not convinced they were ever on between these three. They been knocking the heck out of each other in this whole race so far. Let's see then. It's Taljancic really, Alex, who just seems to be just lacking ultimate pace, and these two can't get out of each other's way as a result.
Yeah, it just seems to be the thing, they're fighting amongst themselves. It's what's letting might really get the opportunity to stay ahead. I think if Klosterman can get a lap here free, where he's not under pressure, he might be able to get to the point where he's right on the bumper and have a proper run into this chicane. But we're running out of laps, so we're only 8 at this point. There'll be 7 after this lap, so it's not going to take. It's going to fly by really, really quickly.
His line was too shallow in the chicane, I think, and didn't get a good exit.
Yeah, just a bit too much speed going in, wasn't there? Just running out wide, and yeah, like you say, it's
a tight angle for the second part, which
if you haven't got that line coming off, you'd done half lose some time. Of course, he would have been minimalised by somewhat with the draft, of course, which is why he's still there. Just misses the apex again, so it's Gantar looking like the driver that wants to get by again.
Klaus Winter and Victor Morjon were over half a second quicker than this battle, and it shows just how and Kim Holter was as well, so it just shows how this battle is it's not really being fought at the pace we expected. And it's just whenever the second place driver, Alex, wants to have a move on Taljancic, the other one takes advantage, and we might see it with Gantar here. He's got a really good slipstream now.
Yeah, fantastic run. Surely it's the opportunity. Come in. Tony's having to go defensive already.
He lifts. Not interested, Gantar.
Yeah, it surprised me, I have to say. He had the run there. Maybe he's hoping that Tony can get...
Sorry, Tony nearly lost it.
Yeah, get that podium position, and Gantar can follow him through, and then those two can battle once they've got by. But maybe they realise at the moment they're just holding each other up.
What do you think, Samu? Do you think's got the advantage here? Oh, it's not. It's not Taljancic.
No.
As Klosterman goes through, Gantar up the inside as well. He needs to make that one work, and he does.
Yeah, this is Tony's opportunity here. Yeah, Tony really needs to put the hammer down and drive away from Gantar. It looked like Gantar was much more comfortable driving behind Klosterman than Klosterman was behind Taljancic. So maybe he prefers the clear air, and that's what his setup is best suited for.
We'll see now, won't we? We'll see just how fast these two then can go. My money's on like quite a bit faster actually, because it's looked like they're having to drive really conservatively, Alex, and well within the limits.
Yeah, and I think probably free now. What are they? 3.9 seconds behind Craig Jones. Craig only did 23.4 the last lap, so he has shot his tyres out just a little bit, something. So might be enough laps left of this one. 5 to go as they cross the line. What was that lap time as well? 23.4 for Jones. What's this going to be for Tony? This is a 22.1, and that was with that first sector where they were all side by side. So that's some good pace.
Yeah. Klaus Winter's just done a 22.1 as well, in 7th place. Like, absolutely brilliant pace from Winter. He's pretty much the fastest man on the track at the moment.
Yeah, needed that in qualifying, didn't he? Right up behind Jean-Philippe there as well.
He qualified, I say only 10th on only a 121.6, but he's only half a second off his qualifying time, Alex, in the race.
Yeah, it's not easy to do. Obviously, a bit of tyre wear, degradation.
Obviously, a good setup underneath him.
Could have always used his race set for quali as well, which we often do see.
It makes all the difference, though, doesn't it? If you have a good balance and you're able to put these lap times in consistently.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got the. Sorry.
No, I was just having a quick look again just to see what's going on there. So the battle for third really has calmed down as well, because Ganter's not able to keep with turning 7/10 of a second and rising almost every corner. Gap has come down nearly a second this lap, I think, to Jones.
Tanaka's just whacked in a 21.8 as well, so, and Jones 22.9. Yeah, he's really suffering. Sam, any ideas why he's dropping off so much here? Because his first, 10 laps or so were very, very strong. No, it's almost since he had that little moment.
Yeah, ever since that, even on the lap after that small incident that he had, he was just all over the place. It seems like the back end is really not behaving like he would like it. He's taking very carefully in the turn 1, and in here also avoiding the curbs. So there might be some damage, or maybe it's just the tires that are overheating.
That might be the likely explanation, actually. It's 29 degrees track temperature, which it's not that hot out there, but V8 Supercar, of course, very sensitive to rear wheel slip and things like that. So, yeah, it could be a problem, Alex. If you just even have the one big slide, you may not be able to bring them back.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I don't know what's going on with Tony this lap, but the time that he gained, he's dropped back on Jones. So, and Ganter right on his tail as well now. So, maybe a final battle for the podium position rather than second, like you were hoping.
How many times do you, make a pass? You're working hard, many laps to make a pass. You actually make the pass, and then you get in front, and you know quicker because you start driving differently, or you haven't got that car for a reference.
I know many a times I've got past, and then after such a while, and then made a little mistake and let them back by, and you're kicking yourself. And yeah, I just think that was a particularly. Well, it wasn't a slow lap, but Jones put 22.1 in actually that time by, so picked up the pace a little bit more than anything. Still a 22.2 for Tony and a 101 for Ganter. So, tell you the front four, if they could get all up to pace all at the same time, it's very, very close. Tanaka 22.0 that last time by, so they're all lapping within a tenth and a half of each other, really.
I tell you, Steve Lattimore put in a 21.7 on that lap.
Yeah, very nice.
15th position. But you know what? I think, Sam, this is one of the best races of the season in terms of everybody's performance, because nearly everybody's in the low 23s or the 22s at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's a short track, but still, everyone is really up to speed here. And I think it's just mainly about the driving itself. I don't think the setup here necessarily makes a huge difference, aside from just having the tires all balanced up. And this is a track that many drivers should have plenty of experience on. It's used in most of the other series as well. So it's not like some of the newer tracks that we might visit, and some drivers will be there for the first time.
Yep, it's only a 4-kilometre circuit actually, is Road Atlanta. And we go to some tracks, Alex, like Spa, Monza, which are 4 miles or thereabouts.
Yep.
And that's a brilliant comment from Robert Lundgren in the chat. I cannot repeat it, but that's fantastic.
Oh, and a problem for Richard Dempsey. He is off, and I believe that is... Where is that?
It's coming out the final, or coming down to the final corner, isn't it? Just coming down from the crest. So. Yeah, that's the auxiliary circuit, isn't it? That can feed you to the other pit lane.
Lundgren, by the way, was a victim of that very same corner at the exit of the S's, that left-hander got on the curb into the wall where Baxter ended up.
Yeah, wow. Say no more.
It's a very tough part of the circuit.
2 laps to go, the leader's looking very, very strong. He could afford to have a little mistake, 10.6 seconds clear. Storming race, very good, consistent pace. Doesn't need to push like crazy out there. He'll be delighted with this. There's actually 1 lap to go, sorry, as he crosses the line.
And it is still close enough for the third, about 9 tenths between Klusterman and Kantar.
Yeah, I was having a quick look as well as Klaus Winter to see if he was going to be able to make a move. He's 6/10 behind, so 6th and 7th still a potential. But again, it's going to have an absolute hell of a lap to get him all the way underneath the rear wing and be able to use the draft and get by.
Also, there could be something happening for the 15th place. We have Woodward, Croft and Crank all within a second of each other.
Ah, yes, and that's closed up massively over the last couple of laps. Woodward started 13th down to 15th, but he's got damage on the front of that car, you can see, and the rear actually. There's Tanaka. He's coming around the final corner, he's going to take the win.
Yeah, faultless drive from Tanaka, deserves the victory here. Doesn't celebrate it at all, you know, but I think he really should do because he didn't put a wheel wrong all race.
Yeah, fantastic from Victor Tanaka. Craig Jones.
And there's the
place.
celebrations.
Yeah.
I think Jones will be happy with second in the end after it was after he struggled a little bit second half of the race. Tony Klusterman in third, Dom Gantar fourth. The one very surprising thing, like I said, I don't know whether he had some damage because you said, Alex, earlier on that somebody hit Michael in the rear.
Yeah, possible.
I mean, he was slow before that actually, but
yeah,
they gained 6 seconds on him, 7 seconds on him in just the final few laps.
yeah, just not able to keep it into the 22. So really struggling.
Sometimes you just have a bad race, though, don't you, Sam? I mean, there's no, there's no reason for it a lot of sometimes, and you just can't get the rhythm, or the car's not quite right, and or there's a little bit of damage.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how much confidence you have in the car. And sometimes some tracks just don't suit you as well. I mean, this has never been really one of my favorite tracks. I prefer circuits like Spa, Road America and so on. But, I mean, faultless performance by Tanaka this time around.
Right then, let's read you through the finishing order then for round 6 of the season in the PenPower European V8 Supercar Championship. Victor Tanaka then takes the win, 8.9 seconds ahead of Craig Jones. Tony Klusterman fought his way up from 6th to finish on the podium. Dom Gantar in 4th, Michael Taliancic in 5th. Still not a bad result. I know we said he was struggling out there, but when a bad race is 5th, that's, you're doing pretty well. And Jean-Philippe Boussalan, car number 666, finished 6th. Dave Baker would be proud. Klaus Winter in 7th. Dave Janssen in 8th. 9th for Victor Morjon. Chris Jackson in 10th. He had to fight back from a slowdown. Kim Holter 11th. Samuel Buzan in 12th. John Roberts 13th. Stephen Lattimore 14th in the end. It'll be a little bit disappointed, I reckon, with that one. I said that's a bit of an understatement maybe, but yeah, Lattimore 14th only. Woodward 15th. Gary Croft in 16th ahead of Wojciech Kruk. And Richard Dempsey 18th, 19th Clyde Whiting, and then Adam McNally 1 lap down in 20th, and also 1 lap down Stephen Baxter, Johan Venter, Richard Brightwell and Peter Bingham, and Robert Lundgren was the only retirement from the race, Alex, after he crashed out at the top of the hill.
Yeah, bit unfortunate for him, but yeah, good grid, good race actually. A couple of little accidents, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the reverse grid. That's for sure. See exactly who gets on the pole position and how the guys are going to fare coming through. I mean, I say in the series that we cover where they have it, it's full on action for the whole rest of the night, and if that's what we're going to get.
No pressure then, Sam, but you've got to do your best impression of Alex and give us the reverse grid draw.
Okay. Let's spin it and see where it lands.
You've got the master alongside you.
So that sounds just like me as well.
Well, there is only one full spot, so I think that needs to be fixed for the next time. And it is 11.
11. Kim Holter moves on to pole position then for the second race of the evening, the feature race, slightly longer format, of course. And we'll see what Holter can do then off the front row. Chris Jackson's going to be starting alongside. And then Victor Morjon in 3rd, Dave Janssen 4th, Klaus Winter in 5th. I wonder what Winter can do from P5, because he was quick in that race. He might have a chance of a top 5 finish. And Busalan then will be in 6th, 7th Talyancic, 8th Ganta, 9th Klusterman, 10th Jones. And our race 1 winner, Tanaka, will be starting in 11th. So join us back here then in just a short amount of time for race 2, the feature race of the evening from Road Atlanta, as the European PenPower V8 Supercar Championship continues.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
what a move. Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
What a move. Truex on the outside, contact made. 56 slides in at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team.
Welcome back, everybody, to the V8 Supercar Championship here at Road Atlanta. Andrew Woodhouse alongside Sam Kumo and Alex Simpson. And Alex, bring you in first this time, mate. Got evening conditions, longer race this time, 40 laps, and the reverse grid to boot. So, what are the main challenges facing the drivers out there for this one?
Well, unlike some of the other series that we do, they have got plenty of time to work their way through. So, got to be patient with the traffic. I think with short races, we often see people having to make moves, rash moves, very, very early on, and that causes larger sort of collisions that come together. So, as long as they don't run out there and think, right, I've got to get to the front within the next couple of laps, I think we'll have a really, really good race. And yeah, so pit strategy is going to be key as always, because they're having to deal with obviously this traffic. Pitting in as soon as they come through the window might well get them clear track, and they can jump people in the pits, fresher tyres of course. Alternatively, you know, they might want to stay out as long as they can and try and do it that way and get the overcut. So lots of different options for the drivers coming through the pack in this one. Of course, the last race, the times were very, very close on track. A lot of people in the 122s. So it's going to be quite difficult to decide from a strategy call, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. And Road Atlanta as well, it's somewhere where you do not want to lose track position because it's quite hard to get it back. Sam, what will you be looking for out there?
I think it will be just interesting to see what happens with the faster guys in this reverse grid scenario. For example, Greg Jones, Tanaka. Will they opt to pit in early to avoid having to overtake everyone who has been starting in front of them on the reverse grid, or will they just try to make the passes and get some clear air?
Well, I think that's the strategy. We see that in the Rickmatech sometimes. That, you know, drivers tend to come in early, try and get the fresh air and see what they can do from there. Kim Holter on pole position. Be very happy with that one. And Chris Jackson alongside. So we'll see what we can do there. Tomorrow's on third, Dave Janssen fourth, Klaus Winter in fifth, Jean-Philippe Boussalan. He finished sixth in the last race and he's starting there this time. Okay then. Here we go. Ready for the start of the European PenPower V8 Supercar Championship. Round 2. Round 7 of the season. Red lights are on. The green light is on. It wasn't a good start by Holter. Jackson gets alongside. And then you can see Janssen and Morison. And then it's Winter up the middle of Boussalan. And Winter trying to go through. 3 wide and manages to get one of them, but Morison hangs on around the outside and into 4th position. Jackson is fighting back there, and Halter is really hanging on at the front now, Sam.
Yeah, I also heard some contact there, but looks like everyone is able to make safely
hello, there's Jackson. Jackson through.
Robert Lundgren, unfortunately, that was the major contact. He's got a blown motor, so I think his race is pretty much done. Johan Venter as well, he was very much involved in something in the first turn. Quite a bit of damage on his car.
Has to be a slowdown for Halter, you would think. Lose that many positions. Wonder if that was done in the S's section. Winter is in front of Halter, but it's Chris Jackson in the lead. But never quit racing, and then it's behind him is Dave Janssen. So Janssen going very well for Phantom 73.
Yeah, we'll see if Janssen is able to match Jackson's pace here. I don't
Sorry,
quite
Phantom
remember
71, not Phantom 73.
Yes, maybe confusing with the other series that we are doing at the same time.
Indeed, and Alex is in charge of that one tomorrow night. Looking forward to that, mate.
Yeah, oh, wow, always. Good media day, so I think it's going to be a good series with 3 different classes.
Sure it will, and just one class here, but very, very good action. Chris Jackson, Action Jackson at the front. Then it's Dave Janssen, Victor Morison, Michael Taliancic, good start from him. And then Tony Klusterman in P5, the Canadian. That's Winter in 6th, he'll be looking to get into that rhythm early.
And also behind them, good mixing up there between Tanaka, Kantar and Latimore. I hope that Latimore this time around has enough fuel. At least it doesn't seem like he has any intentions of being on lap 1 this time around.
No,
Instead changing Kantar.
Alongside Morison. P3. Is Morison going to fight back? He is late on the brakes. Morison. Oh, he might have cut the course there, Alex. It was close.
I think he's got away with it though. Don't see him dropping back. Still doing the same sort of pace as everybody else out there, so.
I think he's okay. Chris Jackson, though, he had to slow down himself in the previous race, and well, had to fight back, and this time at the head of the field, looking good and strong.
Can't believe how quickly he's got to the front, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, he second place on the grid, got a good start.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting the
2 cars mixed up with Klusterman.
Yeah, Chris and Craig, sorry.
Here's Klusterman up the inside of Taliancic. Winter is there as well. Winter going up the inside. Oh, and Winter is going through.
It's busy right there, isn't it? So.
Yeah. It's a slow section as well, and it's often a very clumsy section anyway when you're driving it on your own, let alone around other cars, but Winter and Taliancic looking good. Taliancic does have the inside line. He'll be looking to defend hard here. Craig Jones outbraked himself. He's nearly having to make a move that he didn't want to make, and he's had contact with Winter. And it comes Kantar.
So it closed the whole pack up there as well, didn't it, through that section? So, but you're right, he was forced into something, just missed that braking point, and it was a case of do whatever he can to hit the apex. Samuel Boozen side by side with Baxter and Richard Dempsey as well. That's very close. That's for 13th, 14th and 15th place.
Yeah, that was Dempsey and Boozen went side by side third one. I believe that might have been Dempsey getting by Boozen. And now Boozen under attack
again. Ganter and Winter again, sorry, going into the first of the right-handers.
I believe that was Latimer and
Good
Winter.
progress. Yeah. Making very good progress, Latimer.
Also, battle from the top place here between Morjon and Kusaman. Kusaman on the inside line here on the chicane. Clean pass.
Yeah, nice. P3 for Klosterman. Started in 9th. He's really making some good headway already. And Alex, we've seen many times the BSRTC, hundreds of reverse grid races, and you really have to, if you can make these moves early and make them decisively and cleanly and get yourself 3 or 4 or 5 positions first few laps, then it really does bring the confidence up and gives you a chance to win the race.
Yeah, absolutely, because of course you can build a lead quite quickly on your rivals, and that makes a huge difference as well. You know, if you can get yourself 5-6 seconds clear,
Get some cars between.
exactly, that opens up strategy options and all sorts to you as well. So there is an advantage. You might have said, you know, the guys can be a little bit more patient than what we see in these other series with it being a 40-lap race, but still it does have its advantages. And looking at the lead, it's side by side, Janssen and Jackson.
Dave Janssen then on the attack through where the DRS zone would normally be. Side by side then still, Janssen still has the inside into the chicane, and he breaks earlier than Chris Jackson, but he takes a better line. And Sam, this really looks good for Janssen at the moment.
Oh, it looked good, but then Janssen got really loose over the hill and just fell back a few tenths there. So I think his best opportunity for a pass is in that chicane.
Difficult to make a move there really and keep it and make it stick, I have to say.
Yeah, especially with this car, it's also very twitchy going down the hill. It reminds me of the one spot we saw at the Bathurst, where every time, do you remember when the guys were pitting and coming out of the pits, everyone was getting loose over the small hump.
Yeah, and oh god, and that was our entertainment sorted for the second half hour of the race, was whether they were all going to crash when they came over the hill. And Jackson is wide. Poor exit there, Alex, and here comes Janssen.
Yeah, Dave got a good run, tucked right up in the slipstream. Looks like he's going to have the inside line become available to him. Jackson decides to defend right up to the line, side by side. Late braking for both drivers as well. They try and go in side by side. Jackson can't quite stay around the outside, which would have given the inside. So good move from Janssen. Gets good drive off the corner and is away.
Jackson was on the grass through the final right-hander, but Dave Janssen to the lead. And Sam, I don't think in the few seasons we've been covering the championship we've ever seen Dave Janssen at the front. Excellent stuff.
No, I think he has been close there, but I don't remember if he has any wins so far this season. At least I don't remember any. So the first time around he was testing the water, seeing how the brake feels, and then he went for it.
I mean this with no disrespect, he's going to have to go some to win this one as well. The front guys are closing in on him now. That little battle that he's had with Jackson really cost them a good couple of seconds worth of margin that they've had, and we're only on lap 7 of the race, so he's got a Klosterman behind his teammate. I don't think they're going to battle too hard, but Chris might not have given up this lead battle himself yet.
No, but Dave, oh, Janssen losing it. What happened there?
I think he was just darting to the right, wasn't he? That was all.
It looked like he might have got. Did he get on the grass?
Yeah, possible. But yeah, place lost anyway.
Oh, he was on the grass, Alex, down the straight.
No.
That's why he ended up losing the place. So all that hard work. Do you think he was mirror driving there, maybe a little bit?
Probably.
And just looking at the chicane on that lap as well, he didn't have a look back. So Jackson back up into the lead. He's got a car. Oh, and Morjon going past Klosterman. So I wonder if that's a slowdown for Tony. Yes, it is, surely, because here comes Talyancic and Tanaka.
Oh, that'll be another one as well for Tony. Absolutely romped over the inside of the blind right-hander. He doesn't seem to be slowing down, God knows. how, because
Drivers
the whole
pushing
car
hard.
was over the curb there. But yeah, easy on that final chicane to get slowed down. I mean, you can really attack that, and that's the line. And there's a fine margin between getting a 1x and then getting a slowdown penalty on that chicane.
Terrific battle going on as well between Winter and Gantar. Gantar in 10th, and then Halter in 11th. Latimer and Jones have cleared off from this battle, by the way.
Just looking down the field, we do have quite a few this kind of battle packs going on, similar to Cosminter and Kantar going here on the inside line. Seems to be able to break later and is able to completely pass. But Winter fights back here. Gets the overlap. Is able to hang on. Just takes it slightly cautiously. Looking for the turn 1. I don't think the turn 1 is really a great overtaking place for this car. Yeah, as I was saying, there's plenty of battle back behind them. For example, for North Base, Woodward and Baxter. They've been in close battle, as well as for 17th place between Bingham and Adam McNally. There's actually it's a train behind the Bingham between that is McNally, MC and Whiting. All within about a second of each other.
Oh, and McNally's just gone sideways across the across one of the curbs. I wonder if that might be an issue with track limits as well. But yeah, it's all very, very close. And you know what? We're seeing after all this time now, Alex, we're seeing the field just closing up, and this is getting more and more like the races we see on Thursday night, because only 19 seconds separating the top 16 cars here.
Yeah, this is, yeah, like you say, coming a very, very close race. Lots of little individual battles going on out there right now, and as they're coming
sorry,
down.
Klosterman going for it for the third place here on the final corner. Just
That's where he got him.
In.
That's where he got Morris on last time, Sam. He got a good exit out of the chicane, got past Victor on the way through the right-hander, and kept it this time. Taliancic under pressure from Tanaka. Tanaka cannot get through Latimore. Latimore's got past Jones, and Jones has got big damage to the back of his car. So, and he's off.
And
He's
that's
crashed.
more damage. Yeah.
That is more damage. Mate, you already had damage to the rear, Alex, but he's struggling even more now.
Yeah, it looks toast now as well, to be honest. It doesn't look like he's tracking straight at all, I don't know.
It does look like he's just got a family saloon without that rear wing. But
Exactly.
I'll tell you what, that might fail the old weighbridge, Sam, actually, with that many parts missing.
Yeah, well, that's his way of engaging the DRS. No rear wing going on here on the back straight.
Just knock the rear wing off. Well, that's it. He won't be dragging along through the air then. It's true. Chris Jackson is not dragging along either. 2.3 seconds he's leading over Dave Janssen. This is a very good performance by Jackson, Alex.
Yeah, just pulled away all of a sudden, hasn't he? Dave was there, knocking on the door, trying to get past all this time, and now all of a sudden, there's 2.6 seconds between them. So, Klosterman, I would think, would want to try and get past Dave as quickly as possible, get to his teammate.
Oh, that might be a slowdown for Janssen. He was a long way over the inside curb there. Sam, we saw Chris Jackson a bit at the start of last season, didn't we? And he was pretty solid, but never really seemed to go his way. And maybe all he needs is a bit of clear track in front of him to really show the best form. As Klosterman going up the inside of Janssen. Janssen's going to try and fight back, but it's almost impossible to fight back in that right-hander. But Klosterman loses it. And here comes Morrijon, who's not done with Klosterman. I'm not finished with you yet, he says. Oh,
jeez, look at that.
Morrijon's almost on the grass halfway down the straight.
Just switching one way and another, the whole lot. Not really sure how this is going to pan out going into the chicane. Late braking for Janssen on the inside. Tried to get back up the inside, can't quite do it. Can he get the switch back? Does get a better drive off of the corner. So does Morozhan as well.
Klosterman's good through that final corner though, isn't he?
Yeah, pulled away. Car seems to be set up lovely through there. Rotates nicely on the power.
He seems to just be able to, put the foot down and go. Tanaka sees this up as his opportunity. Oh, contact! Talyancic flipped up into the air, and he might have damage to the suspension now. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. No, it seems like he's okay, but it's quite a big whack he took on the side of his car, Sam.
Yeah, it was the side contact. I don't think there's any major damage to his car. But going back to the Chris Jackson, as you were talking about him, I think the seat time is a huge factor in this car. You just need to figure out where the limit is, and just getting the laps in, that will help you immensely.
Just had a quick look on board.
As well, sorry.
Oh yeah, just a quick look on board of Michael's car as well. Steering's tracking absolutely fine, no issues for him. So yeah, bit of a scare, but actually he's okay, and still plenty of time to catch back up to that little group.
What a great battle we've got here. One of the best battle packs of the season, I think. Klosterman, Janssen, Morozhan. Morozhan trying the outside in the chicane. It's not going to work for the 14 car. There's Talyancic now. Oh, Morozhan out of shape. And it's not Talyancic at all. It's Tanaka going through. And Latimore's going to try and follow him as well. He'll surely get him down the straight unless Morozhan has the slipstream. Manages to stay in front, but late on the brakes is Stephen. The inside line. There he goes.
Yeah, there was a small contact between Tanaka and Morozhan there, so that might have taken the kind of confidence Morozhan had there, and maybe allowed Latimore to make the pass into turn 1.
Good move there by that was oh dear me, that wasn't a move at all. It was Anthony Woodward going in very deep, and then he was passed by Stephen Baxter in the S's.
And he just spun around on that notorious corner there.
Oh,
And that is Woodward down to 14th.
problem for Woodward then. 14th place. Stephen Baxter's up 8 positions, Alex. He seems to impress even more every single race he does, Baxter.
He does so many different cars and series as well. It's not easy, you know. The best drivers tend to stick to just the one car really, but seems to be picking up pace in all 3 right now.
Indeed. Jackson, then Klosterman, 4 seconds is the gap. Then it's Tanaka, and it's Janssen, and then Latimore, Morozhan, Talyancic, Gantar, Winter, and Holter. But yeah, I'm surprised Gantar, once again, Alex hasn't been able to get past Talyancic.
Yeah, no. I mean, these guys have been running quite consistent pace for the whole time, so just all depends really. They keep getting the slipstream of the cars ahead, don't they? Just a couple of seconds up the road, so there's a bit of draft coming in there. Talking about the cars just ahead of them as well, that's is Janssen and Latimore side by side.
Yeah, Latimore defending the inside line. Janssen trying to make a pass on the outside line, but that's probably not going to happen unless he can get cut back here.
Well, he's got a nice run. It's not as good though through this final corner. Loses the rear a little bit there. Just washed out on him a bit, and yeah, he had to save the slide, Alex, and that meant he couldn't stay within real attacking range of Latimore.
Yeah, still having a good race though, still lapping good pace, so just needs to stay with Stephen, because Stephen was one of the quickest drivers, wasn't he, in their first race, of course. Had these issues early on, but was constantly lapping sort of 21s and 22s, so it's a good car to tag on to.
Yeah, 21.5 for Tanaka. That last time by. Nobody else is anywhere near that, by the way. Dear me. Klosterman 22-0. Jackson's going well with the 22-2. That's ridiculous. 21-5. Not even any slipstream there, Sam, really.
No, that is the ultimate pace between the top three. They're all in the clear air. Although I believe Jackson might have just come across lap cars. And the pit window has opened up, so we'll see what these guys will do in regard to the pit strategy. I believe Kantar might be one of those guys who will be pinning in early, just to undercut the Taliancic.
Yeah, 15 laps completed out of 40. You're in the PenPower European V8 Supercar Championship. You're in Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live. Andrew Woodhouse alongside Sam Kumo and Alex Simpson. And well, Alex, 15 laps completed. Been a pretty hectic race so far. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, good one. Still lots of battles to go. I mean, you know, I would say actually the fastest guys have not made their way all the way to the front yet. So Jackson and he's been very quick, but I'm still expecting the likes of sort of Klosterman to try and close in on him, and Tanaka as well. So yeah, I think we've still got some good racing in this second half. Pit window is about to open, so let's see what the guys are going to start to do as strategy goes.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not. The surprises definitely haven't finished, I think, here. Tanaka and Klosterman getting quite close together. We have seen in the past, Sam, that these two have battled quite hard, despite being teammates, so I don't think there's any sort of team orders going on there.
No, I don't think so. They've been battling hard, and I think it will be kind of curious to see what kind of pit strategy they will be employing here. Usually teammates will be running fairly similar fuel loads. So do they have any kind of planning beforehand as to who goes first?
Well, because yeah, and that tyre's going to be taken. I don't think you wouldn't think they would, but the tyre stop though, Alex, in the V8 Supercar is pretty fast, isn't it? So some drivers may elect to take some. It's usually about 5 or 6 seconds, I think, that they lose in the pit. Yeah,
I think they will here. It's quite a demanding track for it through the S's, and it does work both sides of the tyre to a degree. So yeah, those who think that they need track position more than anything will opt for it. But of course, you can overtake here. That's the key thing. Get that good run down this back straight, and you can get on by. Tanaka very close to Klosterman, 0.3 of a second down the back straight, using the drive closing in. I don't know if he's going to get there for a chance to have a look. No, he doesn't.
We also have the first pit stops done by Greg Jones here. That was 21 seconds for the service. So that should be fairly give us a good idea about how long it takes.
Yeah, Tanaka in. He's decided to jump into the pits. See what he does. It's an indication of what the front runner's going to do.
So first one of them who decides to blink. Morjon versus Janssen. Morjon hanging on really well in this group, and definitely in and amongst it, putting in some good lap times. Klaus Winter's starting to come back towards this battle as well, and Gantar still behind Taliancic, but we have seen in the past, Sam, that there is scope for some fuel saving. If Gantar's running right behind Michael for, you know, most of this first half of the race, may be able to go a little bit longer and maybe put some less fuel in at the pit stop.
Yes, but it also looks like Gantar could perhaps run a little bit faster than the drivers in front of him. So it might be beneficial from him to just jump to pit lane right now. But we'll see what happens this time around here.
But again, we know Gantar's game. It's consistency, isn't it? It's his game. And I think a top 5, if he can manufacture that from the second half of his race, he could be very, very pleased indeed. He's not a driver, Alex, who goes for a lot of, you know, outright wins and things like that. He's not desperate for wins. He puts together very, very solid top 5 finishes in nearly every race, and that's why he's a championship contender.
Yeah, we see this in loads of different series, don't we? Those drivers that can constantly bang in those consistent results are going to be there or thereabouts at the end of the season. It's not always all about winning, and just making sure you avoid those DNFs and things like that can be so critical.
Yep. And Janssen and Morrison have actually pulled away from this battle again. Just continues to surprise me. Not necessarily the pace of Janssen and Morrison, but the struggles of Michael Taliancic, especially after he qualified in a very strong position, Sam.
Yeah, to be fair, Michael didn't have the credit line through the SS. Took a little bit too much curve there, that cost him a few laps. So he fell back there. And Kantar wasn't really able to make any time on it, and now Klaus Winter is joining this battle as well. So it seemed like this Morrison, and who was that on the pit lane? That was Kantar, I believe.
Taliancic in from 6th place. See if this can get some of his mojo back, Alex. Second half of the race. Just so used to him having such a searing pace out there that when he doesn't put in these lap times, it's a bit of a shock.
Yeah, I wonder if he's not had quite the amount of time to prep for this one as normal or something like that. So,
yeah, maybe.
Also, as well, Road Atlanta, it's a bit of a Marmite track, isn't it? You either love it or you hate it. I think when you hate it, it really is difficult to sort of build up any kind of rhythm around here. Pit stop time for him, very comparable to Naka, 19.7 seconds.
And Kantar just made his way past Dave Janssen. Although he did lose some time there, so we'll see how that affects the battle between Kantar and Taliancic.
So once again, when Gantai gets free, he decides to put the hammer down, but I wonder if that is that thing. He's just trying to use the overcut on Taliancic and trying to put a fast time in now. See what this lap time is, because he's been lapping around the high 22s, low 23s behind Michael. First lap, well, outside of that, 22.9 still, so no real improvement in pace. He did make an overtake having said that, but see what Gantar does now about Morrison. Klusterman's catching Jackson, Alex, as well, but only about, well, it was a quarter of a second a lap, but he just took nearly 1 second out of him on that lap.
Yeah, crazy that lap, 9/10. So 3.8 seconds to lead, but still reasonable gap for Chris. I think he's going to be able to pit in during the window and feel fairly comfortable that as long as there's not like a major difference with tyre strategies, he will come out with a lead of some sort. Whole gaggle of cars into the pits, I see. Kim Holter is in, Anthony Woodward, Clyde Whiting, and Venter's in as well.
It looks like this battle that we were watching it's now down to 3 cars, Kantar, Janssen and Morrison. Kantar does have the clear air here, so if he was able to save some fuel running in that draft, now is the time to make good use of it.
Yeah, Jackson, Klusterman coming in at the same time, same team, same strategy. Oh, that's a good chance for Gantar.
Let's see, Taliancic is the first one of these guys to quit, so it will be interesting to see what his lap time is.
Yeah. Yeah, it will be this one that we get a definitive time from him. He needs to be in the 21s really. I know he's got more fuel in there, but he needs to get into at least the low 22s. Again, we'll see. Clear air, what he does, 22.2, so that is a good solid lap time, and that's a good half a second a lap quicker, Alex, than he was going about 4 or 5 laps ago.
Yeah, makes difference. Maybe that pace is just building up. His confidence is picking up a little bit with the car, and that's where he's able to to find that extra bit of pace. It's back to what I was saying earlier on, maybe just not enough sort of prep time, so every lap is he's growing in confidence out there.
The rest of the drivers are really struggling out there now. Janssen and Morison. Janssen 23.4, Morison 24.9. Gantar 23.0, but he's absolutely leaving these guys. Let's see what he does this time. 22.1, where did that come from? He must be trying to use up the tyres preparation for his stop, surely.
I think he really has to, because right now there's really no other way for him to fight back, because Italian 6 previously was much quicker. So he needs to be able to come out in front of Italian 6 from his pit stop. Let's see, Italian 6 comes through the final corner, and what his lap time is this time by. Usually the first few laps will be much faster than the normal pace. So this time by 22.5, that is still very fast lap times. But not quite as fast as Gantar.
Let's see then. Where does he come out? Just behind Winter. So, Klaus Winter with a good pit stop phase there, and a 22.2 coming out of the pits on the outlap, putting him ahead of Dave Janssen. Janssen, of course, Alex, who led the race at one point.
Yeah, Winter runs
that's
wide,
the corner.
But seems to get away with it.
It's caused a lot of drivers problems, Sam.
Yeah.
I'm not sure quite what Klosterman's stop was. It's showing as multiple stops, so I think he might have missed his box and gone back in or something like that there. So, comes out quite a way back. I mean, it's a long way behind the likes of Tanaka, who's also pitted, so a mistake for Klosterman.
Yes, looking at his time, it's 16 seconds, so what I think might have happened is that he didn't have the tires checked. So maybe he was just trying to first go without the tires, but then realized that he needs those. Went back to the pit stall and got the tires. And who is that around on the start of the main straight? That is Peter Bingham.
Yeah, Bingham. But when you look at the relatives as to where Klosterman's come out, he's miles behind people who have already pitted.
It's over a minute down.
So big problems for him.
In fact, he's nearly a lap down.
Oh, can you see his
In
buttons?
fact, he is a lap down. He's behind Lattimore.
Yes, has he done another pit stop?
But Tanaka's obviously just coming onto the back straight now, and he's the first of the drivers to have pitted. So, yeah, it must have been a speeding violation or something along those lines, because it's caught him out.
He's lost a lap.
Did he speed on the way out and have to do another pit stop, like a stop and go or something like that?
Maybe. I mean, Lattimore hasn't pitted yet, bear in mind as well, gents. But Gantar... Has Gantar pitted yet? No, he's not been in yet.
Gantar and Pusen. Top 3 hasn't pitted yet.
Gantar is struggling with the tyres a little bit, must admit. Morison's just been in. Boussalan hasn't been in yet, or has he?
Yes, he has.
Yes, he has. Sorry,
so far, yes, most of them have been. Dempsey hasn't pitted. Roberts hasn't pitted.
So realistically, Klosterman's not a lap down, but he is. Yeah, he is at the moment. Boussalan has just pitted. He's come out just ahead of John Roberts. He's ploughing along pretty nicely in the mid-23s. It's a tough car to drive, Alex, if you don't drive a lot of it.
That's the thing, I think.
Robert's doing a good job.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone who comes in just wants to have a little play in the V8 Supercar is a very, very brave person, because, yeah, it's not easy.
I know you and Nobby used to have a laugh at me in the morning sometimes when I used to jump in the old V8 league that we had, and not easy to do. Craig Jones versus Kim Halter. Jones up the inside.
So what's going on with Jones as well? Jones is not at the best of pit stops either when you look at it.
Baxter's there.
You know?
What's Baxter going to do? He's well in this battle.
He's 20 odd seconds behind as well.
Yeah. Strange goings on there, because you can't just attribute that to tyres or no tyres or something like that. Not 20 seconds anyway.
So one stop, 21 seconds. Simple as.
Buzen has pitted. Dempsey. I thought he was in trouble then, but
Yeah,
he's just
Dempsey's
coming
on
to
the pits.
Very strange. Klusterman will probably get. Will he get unlapped here? I think he might be unlapped. Gantar's leading at the moment, isn't he? And
yeah, and Lottomoro is in the pits. And so is Gantar.
Gantar's in. Yep. Good long run though from Gantar. 26 laps. Pretty impressive at the start of the race anyway. Now he's going to have a big sprint to the finish, Alex.
Yep, just got to absolutely go for it now, hasn't he?
Try and make as many places as he can. Like I say, if he can finish in the top 5, I think that'll be a very, very good result. Here comes Victor Tanaka around the final corner. Might be the competition for Gantar, but it's going to be no competition. Tanaka through easily. So it's worked out well for Tanaka. Look at those lap times. Sam, look at those lap times since Tanaka pitted. Every single lap between 21.6 and 21.9.
Yeah, he really shows that he means business with us. And also, let's see, Taliancic, he is able to maintain the third place. Latimore, Ward and Gantar was side by side here between Morjon on the outside. Is he able to make it?
He needs to make it. Yeah, and he has. Really needed to get that one done, Gantar.
But compared to Taliancic, he did lose out quite a lot of time. Seems like the strategy on running for a long stint on the old tires didn't quite work out, as Taliancic was able to hit those 21s.
You can tell how good Tanaka's times have been, Sam, because he's come out. Because he's now 3 seconds ahead of Chris Jackson, and Jackson's in the 21s as well. So Tanaka's sequence of laps have just destroyed the competition.
Yeah, and he also had 2 seconds faster pit stop compared to Jackson. So consistency on the pit lane as well.
Maybe as well. I wonder if the fuel might be at least in question for Tanaka, but I think he'll make that mistake again. Gantar's now up to 5th though, and that Alex, that was really a productive round of pit stops for him.
Yep, I think so. Looking good, pace looking okay as well. The gaps really have spread apart though during the window, and I really wasn't expecting that. Even though the pit stop times all seem to be within sort of 2 seconds of each other.
Yep. I think you're right there. And maybe that'll be the deciding factor at the end. You never know. These races are decided by small margins. Klaus Winter is now ahead of Dave Janssen, so that's 7th. Excuse me. I think, has everybody made their stops now?
Yes, John Roberts just came in for his pit stop, and that is everyone.
That's a good run by John. Lundgren in as well, but I think he's pitted already. So that's a good run by Roberts to get that far. 28 laps.
Of course, he'll be quick in this stint as well. When his tyres will be fresh, and he'll be able to push on and hopefully make some place. He's got a few people kicking around him right now.
Yeah, Phillips, White. Oh, sorry, no, Phillips. So they've just gone a lap down, but Phillips is racing him, so he's right in front of Roberts.
Yeah, 10 seconds. Whiten. I mean, with the fresher tyres, that might be doable.
It's possible, isn't it? 12 laps.
Also, another benefit of pitting so late is that it's much easier to estimate how much fuel you need compared to like 30 laps versus 10 laps. And I think with this car we've seen quite a large difference in the fuel consumption between the race 1 and race 2, just because the weather is slightly different. Which
Yeah,
also brings up
warmer, isn't it? So
yeah, can you imagine what's gonna happen when the daytime cycle will be here? Let's say we will running at the late night and so on. That's going to be a whole other ball game. Very confusing for the drivers.
Yeah,
we're going to see some drivers
of what 7-8 seconds a lap. Oh, who's this losing it in the back? Oh, I think that was Roberts and Phillips there as well. Just,
wow,
going at it,
and they're having to give way to the leaders. Jackson's gone past Roberts. Roberts letting him through as they seen the blue flag.
Yeah, so the crazy thing with the night racing and stuff like that now, where it's going to transition, it could be upwards of 7 seconds a lap faster during the night as it is during the day.
That's if it carries on if the modelling carries on how it has been. You're going to have to change it though.
Surface temperature changes, yes, definitely, because it does really open it up, doesn't it?
Because that means, well, yeah, because I mean that's. Yeah, they're gonna have to do something about that, because at the minute, at somewhere like Le Mans, can you imagine? On the Nordschleife?
Yep.
I mean, okay, everybody's got the same conditions, I suppose, but it means that comparative lap times in qualifying and things like that, you know, there'd be no point going out in the first part of qualifying if it's say in an evening setting. Oh, Jackson's been hit by Phillips, and Jackson's in the wall. That's the second place man in the fence. What on earth
bringing the replay on the screen. Let's see, they're coming through the chicane, going up the hill. That looks like the quarter panel, and heavy impact for Chris Jackson on the inside wall.
That's a quarter panel, and now Jackson's sitting duck to Lattimore. He's got damage to the wheels, Alex. There's nothing you can do there.
No, heavy hit to the side of the car, straight into the wall. Be livid with that, I think.
I think he'd be livid with Phillips. Because I mean, that was something
Phillips
that
already had the damage. Yeah.
He didn't need to get involved in that.
No, not at all.
It wasn't for position. Jackson was lapping him. And a misjudgment, maybe, but costly one. I'm not sure what the best strategy for Jackson to do is, because he's so slow at the minute. Then, is there even a... If he stays out, he's doomed, because he's going to lose a lap or two. If he pits, he's going to lose a lap or two. So
depends how quickly he can get his car fixed, isn't it? I think that's the thing. If you can't get it fixed very quickly, then the obvious thing to do is to stay out and just hope and pray you can hold on to a reasonable result here. Gutted for him, really.
Yeah, and great performance by Jackson, and look at the state of that front right tyre. I think he's almost certainly going to have a black and orange flag, Sam, as well.
Yeah, and Chris Jackson is pitting in this standby, so that is most likely force mandatory repairs.
There's a fast repair, but as we spoke about before, Alex, what did we say? If you use it by mistake in the first stop, then he might be toasted. Here, we'll see what happens. He's going to go into his box. Does he get the repair?
Well, it doesn't look fast. Yeah, he's sitting there. So that looks like Jackson's race. Unfortunately, might get back out again, but it's not going to be in a relatively strong position. What
a shame for Chris Jackson. Really, probably the driver of the day in this race, and one of the and only the second driver to retire from the race. Gary Croft was the first after just 5 laps. Oh, Tanaka's off. The leader's off, and he looks like he's had a crash. He's got damage.
I believe that wasn't the chicane, was it?
Yeah, he's got going again. So
has he hit anything? Because he had damage on the front. Is he just daydreaming out there?
Yeah, he had damage before the chicane. He spun out on the exit of chicane. Did not get damage there, so something must have happened before that.
Yeah, because the car is not looking good at all.
Yeah, there's damage to
Stephen
the
Lattimore smells a victory.
damage to the left front of Tanaka's car.
Just seeing if I can find it where it might have been.
Well, his previous lap time was 1 minute 25, so something happened there.
It was just behind a back marker that lap, so that's why that was slow. No contact though. I'll just see if I can find it, guys, and then I'll let you know.
Yeah, okay. I was having a look myself as well, and it's hard to find. So yeah, I'm gonna have a quick look at that for us. But this means that Lattimore could well be the favourite to win the race. If Tanaka continues to struggle, we'll see what lap time he does when he comes through, because he's just making his way towards the chicane.
Yeah, Lattimore also making his way through the lap traffic here. Also, his car isn't looking the precise. Some damage to the left front as well.
Is it just a mistake maybe from Tanaka? Maybe he had that damage earlier? 22-1, I mean, that seems fine to me. Seems pretty good. So he's managed to stop the bleeding. Stephen Lattimore actually did a slow lap there, 23-1, and off goes Lundgren.
Yes, Lattimore just being compromised by the lap traffic there.
Oh, and let's look at this now for Talyancic and Gantar. And Talyancic has got ahead of Gantar again.
Yeah, and that's also traffic in front of them, so anything can happen here.
I'm afraid I haven't been able to find where the initial damage come from, guys, but yeah, definitely just that little moment of the chicane cost him the bulk of the lap time there.
Yeah, strange one. Maybe just a mistake. Maybe there's nothing caught. Maybe nothing caused it. Just looked like the car was behaving strangely, but I guess it would be when you go off and dirt on the tyres. This car's hard enough to get the traction anyway. Tough to get the power down and keep it. Tony Klosterman down in 13th position, Alex.
Oh, and Gantar
Behind
almost
Boozer.
loses in the chicane.
Oh,
Just able to save it.
a lot of time lost for Gantar.
Yeah, he had just made it past the back markers, and now he has to chase up to Talyancic all over again. Down to 1.5 seconds behind him right now. Also, good battle for the 12th place between Busen and Klosterman.
Yep. You wouldn't expect that one to last too long, but Klosterman through. Any theories, Alex, about what happened to Tony in the pits? Because that was
I didn't see
was a
what
big
happened,
time
but
loss,
I
wasn't
can
it?
only imagine it was a speeding penalty on the way out. Let me just have let me just go and have a quick look at his lap times
he didn't have any repairs to do either.
and see if he went in twice. It's a bit hard for me to.
Yeah, it's so
Let's have a look.
many 4 pit
he
stops
hasn't.
for me. So let's say
4 pit stops.
yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
sure.
like if he has stopped and then went back. Well, if the penalty is 15 seconds, then that would match with the time that I'm seeing on my screen.
The crazy thing is I've got no valid laps. There's something gone on somewhere.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's pretty clear that it was into the pits here.
Sam, just have a quick look at the battle for 5th while we're figuring that out.
Yeah, I was
Well,
just looking
let's
at
have another
it
look
between
at that as
Morrison
well.
and Klaus Winter.
Yeah, it looks like a good battle here.
Yeah, Morrison had a very slow lap time previously. It was at
Exactly that.
26.7.
Exactly
Winter was
that,
catching
gents.
by
So he missed his. He actually missed his box on the way in, and had to just back it up ever so slightly. And then on the way out, I think he picked up another speeding penalty because he had to come back in
Oh,
to have another penalty. So
at
it's
the
like
very
having-
next lap.
it was like having 2 stops. So he's down to 1 extra stop to everybody
Whoa.
else.
2 stops, one of which was a bad stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how you can just have your race completely ruined. You know, we've seen 2 two races, Jackson and Klosterman, the same team, get ruined. One by no fault of his own, and the other was just a costly mistake, Sam.
Yeah, that just happens. I mean, pit lane is a place where you often either lose it or win it. Especially when it's very slippery. I think this track is... Oh, and who's that going all the way up?
Oh, looks like Dempsey, is it? Oh, no, it's Venter.
No, it's Venter here. To be fair, he had traffic coming behind him. So maybe that just he saw the pullback and decided to stay out of the way.
It's pretty sensible, really. Tanaka's still in the 21s. There's a few, 2 or 3 laps where it wasn't that great, but seems to have picked it up again now. Off is Venter again, just taking the... I mean, there's being generous to the traffic coming through, Alex. I know that, but that's taking it to the extreme, is that?
Yeah, but he's not going to mind, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think he was being generous because he was fighting between Robert Lundgren, and now Lundgren has gotten by him.
Is that taking a few leaves out of your dad's book of letting the leaders through, that, isn't it, Alex?
Oh, yeah, we had to have word, didn't we, when he was...
we did have word.
Like that. So, guys for 3rd place. Very, very close. 0.3 of a second down the back straight.
Gantar's got a run. He's not going to get a chance into the chicane, I don't think. No, he's not. He'll have to come from a long way back, but it's about setting up the move for later. But there's not much later to be had because we've only got 3 laps to go as these two guys come across the start-finish line here at Road Atlanta.
Not really sure where this race has gone, to be honest. 1 minute we've just gone into the sort of the pit window.
Yeah.
Lap 16. Next minute is 3 to go.
It's been a good one, hasn't it? And I think the first half of the race was excellent. I think, Sam, the first race even, it said it was lap 17, and I looked away for what seemed like 10 seconds, and it was lap 20 again, you know. But
yeah,
I guess it's been a good fun race.
Yeah, it's the nature of this car and track, because you get those twisty sections, and it tends to lead to just mixing up the field. You can't really master your optimal lap times over and over again, especially in the traffic. So you get those moments and opportunities to make moves. And here we have battle for 6th place between Winter and Craig Jones.
Yeah, Jones started 10th, struggled a bit in this one, but he's still got the chance to have a go at Klaus Winter. But Winter is only 1 second behind Morijon, so Alex, the more I race Road Atlanta, the more I see races here, the more I sort of understand the appeal of it. Jones goes through, Winter's just letting him through. I wonder if Winter's struggling with fuel.
Oh,
If you let someone through that early down the straight,
possibly.
I think you may be saving. I think Morijon might be saving as well, because Jones is closing in at a rapid rate.
I was still looking at Ganter as well, and he got himself all kinds out of shape coming out of the final chicane, but held on to the car, so he's still in with a chance with a couple of laps to
Michael
go.
went wide.
He's struggling.
Michael went very wide through the top section. Listen, when you go on board, listen to just how much he's having to come out of the throttle and feather, and you know, be so gentle on the power through that section. But yeah, the more race I watch here, the more I get this circuit and what it provides. I think what Sam said, Alex, was, you know, it completely sums it up. It's a track where it's very difficult to get right every single time. Little mistakes can creep in. There's a lot of technical corners which, on the face of it, they don't look that difficult, but these mistakes open up the racing here, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what we're seeing sort of tonight, actually. Various battles out there that have been really, really good, and a grid that's actually very, very close.
You don't tend to see a processional race here,
No.
because of that nature of, like I say, people, especially in this car, like what Sam said, in that you get on the power and
Sorry, Andrew. Baxter and Janssen side by side.
Sorry, Alex, Gantar up the inside of having a look. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, no, that battle still goes on between Baxter and Janssen as well.
Oh, Baxter twitching all over the place.
And also there's a car off in the background.
Has Janssen been off?
Wait, Victor Morjon is in the pits, so he must be out of fuel.
I wondered what that was. Yeah, Morjon then out.
1 lap short. Just couldn't
Out of
quite
8th
make it.
place. I wondered why Janssen and Baxter were fighting over that position, but here we go then. Victor Tanaka. He's just got. Oh, and Gantar's very close as well to Talianchis, but Tanaka's coming through the final corner. He had a couple of dodgy laps in there, but it's been a fantastic race. Such consistency and the power and the force that you've never seen before from Victor Tanaka. Brilliant. Over the line he goes. Bit of a wiggle of celebration. There is one that time. Stephen Lattimore coming across. And it's Taliancic and Gantar. Look how close that is coming across the line. It's going to be Michael Taliancic.
Final lap battle though.
Oh,
Baxter and Janssen. Sorry,
between,
guys.
very close there. That's over the line.
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
boys,
and
sorry.
Baxter around. That is a slowdown for Baxter.
Well, A for effort there. Dave Janssen will be happy because he takes 7th.
Let's see here. There is a battle. Well, I don't think this battle is. They are 1 lap down, so never mind. Just waiting and be now.
Just the one I was looking at as well.
And you're thinking, oh, there's a really slow battle going on.
0.3 of a second apart, and I was like, oh, okay.
I think they're just taking some photos there.
Well, that concludes the action here then at Road Atlanta. Let's go through the finishing order then. Round 7 of the season. Victor Tanaka taking the win by 7 seconds. Absolutely brilliant second half of the race from him. You could just say that's perfect. Stephen Lattimore, 2nd place. Michael Taliancic, 3rd. 1/10 of a second ahead of Dom and Gantar. That was very close at the end. We didn't know where to look at that one or at the Baxter and Janssen battle. Craig Jones in 5th, up from 10th. He'll be happy with that. Klaus Winter, a very solid 6th position. Dave Janssen in 7th. He led the race at one point. Good to see Dave up at the front. Stephen Baxter, 8th place from 20th on the grid. Really lovely stuff from him. Kim Halter, 9th. 10th, Jean-Philippe Boussalan. A little bit in no man's land, really, in that race. Victor Morjon, 11th. Tony Kluseman, 12th. Morjon ran out of fuel, and as we mentioned earlier on, Kluseman had his issues in the pit lane. Samuel Buzan in 13th. And then 14th for Anthony Woodward. Clyde Whiting 15th, Peter Bingham 16th, 17th Stephen Phillips, Richard Dempsey 18th, Richard Brightwell 19th, and then 2 laps down John Roberts, Robert Lundgren 21st, Johan Venter 22nd, Chris Jackson retired, along with Alan McNally and Gary Croft. And Chris Jackson, Alex, is going to be not a particularly happy camper tonight.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But good race. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Getting involved and everything. So
You'll have to come back for the next one, mate.
that's it. Done a few now in consecutive order, so why not?
And speaking of the next round, that one does come to you from the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache Interlagos circuit in Brazil, Sao Paulo, 2nd of September. That will be the same format as tonight, so it's the traditional 2-race format. And Sam, Interlagos V8 Supercar, sounds like a blast.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be very different from this one. With Interlagos, I would expect there will be plenty of sideways action between those, through those high-speed corners. Just imagine the first corner going through the downhill on this car. I don't think I could survive even 1 lap.
And I think there's maybe we should find out. As it's going to be very difficult to get the power down out of those hairpins as well. Very, very tricky sections as well. Right then, are we gonna hang around for any interviews? Because nobody seems.
Yeah, I was looking at that, and it doesn't seem like it.
I don't think anybody wants to come and speak to us, so I think we're gonna have to make a swift exit then, boys. Alex, Sam, thank you very much for joining me tonight. As usual, Sam, for providing all the great footage that you've seen, of course, on the broadcast, and from all of us here at Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live. It's good night from the European PenPower V8 Supercar Championship.